You in the right place. You just clicked this video at the right time. You understand? Your life is very important. Your life is a life that's worth living, and I'm gonna tell you why in this video. Thank you for tuning in. My name is bombwill. I'm just say I'm your friend. You understand? I'm gonna just say I'm your friend. And in this video, I am here to tell you why your life is much more important than you can ever imagine. You understand? In this video, this is right off the cuff. No cut scenes, real, raw, and uncut. You understand? So the first thing I'm gonna ask you is, do you actually follow God? Do you follow God? Or do you just believe in God? See, it's a difference between actually following God and just believing in God. Because when you just believe in God, but you don't follow God, that's when things in your life can become a little tricky. But see, we have to understand that there is an enemy. There is a force that exists that wants to stop you. It wants to stop you from being the person that you were designed and created to be. So that's the enemy's plan. The enemy is here to destroy you and to just kill any kind of progress or any kind of legacy that you were about to create, that you was about to build, you was about to design. The enemy is here to destroy that. So how do you stop this from happening? You stop this from happening by actually following God. You have to follow God in order to get the blessing of God. You understand? So how do we follow God? Well, God has already given us a blueprint. He's given us something legendary that we can use in order to fulfill the destiny in our lives, and that is the Bible, the Holy Bible. If you've ever read the Bible and understand what the Bible is trying to tell you, then you'll understand how God works, how God operates just in general, because God just is. He doesn't change. He doesn't flow with the seasons. He just is. So you'll understand how God really is, and you'll understand the life that God has designed us to live. And that life includes a life of peace, service to others, love each other like you love yourself. Do not steal from people. Do not manipulate people. Do not commit adultery. Be a loyal person. Be thankful for the life that you live. You understand? Honor your mother. Honor your father. You understand? So God has already listed commandments that we need to follow. And when you follow these commandments, what you will realize right away is that you automatically the best version of yourself. Think about it. If you were to follow God, right? I'm not talking about just with words, but with action. You follow the 10 commandments, what God is telling you to do. When you decide to do that, you automatically the best version of yourself. So think about it. If you was the best version of yourself, would you do the things that God is saying not to do? Would you be a liar? Would you be somebody who steals from people? Would you commit adultery? Would you not honor your parents? Would you idolize other people before God? Would you idolize like celebrities and, you praying to a celebrity and stuff like that? It sounds weird, but it's people out there, they be, they got problems. People out there will actually pray to a celebrity as if that's their God, when in reality, God gave them that person in the first place. God created that person. So when you follow the 10 Commandments, and when you look at it for what it is, you automatically will realize that, okay, if I follow this, I'm automatically the best version of myself. I'm automatically living in my truth. I love other people like I love myself. You understand? And when you do this, everything becomes better for you. You become at peace with yourself, with your relationships, your partnerships, companionships. Everything is just much better. You understand? When you following God. Because when you follow God, you're going to develop a certain sense of confidence in yourself. A very high level of confidence in yourself. A high level of peace in yourself. You understand? So if you out there right now and you're not following God, say you've been led astray, say you've been influenced by the wrong influences, which is the enemy, the devil, say the devil may have influenced you to do things that go against God and made you go to the wrong direction. You understand? So what you need to do is open up the Bible, read it from beginning to end. Don't skip nothing. Read it so you can understand how God works and follow the 10 Commandments. You want to follow the 10 Commandments of God. You want to follow that to the T, to the maximum. You want to follow that. You understand? Because when you do that, you automatically shift everything. If you follow the 10 Commandments right now, you automatically then shifted your life, and you didn't change the lot just by doing that. You understand? You didn't change the lives of the people around you and the life of yourself by just following just that and holding true to it. You understand? With actions, not just with words, but with action. You understand? And when you stand firm by that, I have to tell you, if you're not following God right now, the devil he gonna leave you alone. He might send battles towards you, but those battles is no blessing in a battle that the enemy send to you. You understand? At least when God send you a battle or a trial and tribulation, it's always a blessing at the end of your testing. You understand? So God will test you and it'll be a blessing after that. But when the devil attacks you, you just attacked. You just done. You understand? And you become comfortable with what the devil has given you. For an example, you might have a alcoholic addiction. You may be addicted to pornography. You may be addicted to worshiping the wrong people. You could have a lot of bad addictions in your life right now. You understand? And the devil, what he gonna do is he gonna try to make you as comfortable as possible with it. You understand? You might be the person that, you struggle telling the truth. You understand? Because God is the truth. But the enemy will try to make you feel comfortable with it as if it's not a problem. So it's almost going to be as if the devil not attacking you because he already made you comfortable with a life that's not aligned with your highest truth or, most importantly, with God. So when you decide to follow God, and you decide to hold up the 10 Commandments, you decide to say, hey, look, I'm going to follow God. I'm going to give up my wicked ways. I'm going to change and I'm going to repent. I'm going to move forward. And that's just going to be that. When you decide to do that, understand that that's when things going to start getting it's going to get kind of wicked when you first start out. It's going to be like a little challenge. that the enemy gonna try to throw at you. They say, oh no, don't do that. We need to keep you right here. You know, you need to stay an alcoholic. You understand? So when you say, hey, look, I ain't trying to drink no more. So guess what? Your friends, family, your partner might come around you with some drinks. They might already come around you drunk with some drinks in their hand, like, hey, I'm drunk, get drunk with me. That's the enemy trying to trick and deceive you to try to get you to go backwards. You understand? But you cannot fall for the trick. Never fall for the trick of the enemy. The enemy will always want you to go backwards. Never, ever go backwards. Always move forward, no matter what. No matter what's happening, no matter what's going on, no matter how things turn out, always move forward in grace, always move forward in God. Never, ever go backwards. You understand? When you commit to God, it is a commitment. It is a lifelong commitment and lifestyle. You understand? So what's another thing that happens? When people commit to God, right? Something happened to them and they go backwards. They might get into a relationship with somebody and that person might hurt them. And now, as a result of that, their heart back cold. They turn back into a cold person. You understand? Because that's what the enemy wants. The enemy wants you it'll use any little thing, any situation. It could use your own thoughts against you to make you go backwards. You understand? So anything that's trying to get you to deviate away from God, away from your highest truth, is always going to be something that the devil is going to use that's going to be close to you. Or it could be somebody far away from you. It's always going to be something close to you that's going to try to get you to go off pat. You got to remain yourself. Even if you get into a relationship and that person do hurt you in the process, the devil will want you to turn to a cold-hearted person, but you can't let them trick you. You got to remain real, remain genuine, no matter what, no matter what's happening. You understand? Stand firm. You understand? Because with the devil, this is another thing that the devil would do. The devil will get you to think that, oh, if you're following God, that means that you're just a nice person. That means you're like a marshmallow. You just so nice and just you just so accommodating. Ain't nothing wrong with being accommodating, but they try to make it seem like you just overly nice to where you just accept anything. You understand? They try to the enemy try to create a negative stereotype of somebody that's following God. That's why a lot of people don't want to follow God, because they think, oh, if I'm following God, that means that I'm just going to be I'm just going to be too nice. You understand? But in reality, when you following God, you have boundaries in your life, because you can't have the love of God when you don't have boundaries, because love doesn't work without boundaries. You got to put a boundary on your life. You understand? You got to say, hey, look, I'm not going to do this no more. Hey, look, I ain't going that way. No, you got to tell people no, but not in a harsh, negative way. You respectable, be humble. You understand? Say respectfully, nah, I ain't drinking today. Nah, I'm good. Nah, I ain't smoking no weed. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I ain't gambling no more, man. We gambled yesterday, but today I ain't gambling no more. Yeah, that's it. That was my last slot machine I'ma play. You understand? So you gotta walk away from that devil, because remember, when you resist the devil, he will flee. He'll run away. He say, damn, I can't get him. I can't get him. You know what I'm saying? So let me go to somebody else. Let me go to one of his friends. Let me see if I could use them. Oh, let me go to their mama. Oh, let me go to their dad. Let me go to somebody close, their dad. You understand? Man, it get deep. I'm telling y'all. You understand? So don't be tricked by the enemy. God led you to this video for a reason. God brought you here to tell you and to enlighten you, especially if you haven't been following God. God brought you here right here for a reason, to confirm something to you. I know I said a lot in this video, but whatever I said to somebody, I know is connecting with somebody. I know I'm reaching somebody in this video. You understand? And I just wanted to come in and drop that to y'all, because it was on me to come out here and do this video and to, you know, to help y'all, to steer y'all to the right direction, because that's what it's about. That's why I do this. I do this to steer y'all to the right direction and to make sure that y'all is not being led astray by the enemy. You understand? So with all that being said, I want to thank each and every one of y'all for tuning into this video today. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, because y'all know, you know, I try to do my thing, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead on, subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment your thoughts down below, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Peace.